Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. So this is a continuation of my previous tier list video back from patch 2.0 or so. We will be starting this video from where we left off in the 2.0 meta. There have been quite a few new characters released as well as some changes in the meta. But really quick, it's time to pay some bills, and today's sponsor is Leviathan. Leviathan is a free-to-play, massively multiplayer online RPG that was just launched in North America on October 20th. There are dungeons, arenas, and even dimensional portals for endless content. The download link will be in the description below. Start your adventure with your perfect character, where you can choose from 4 different races, 2 genders, and 6 different classes, none of which are gender or race locked. Make your own high-grade equipment and other consumables that will aid you in battle. Have unused materials? Well, you can sell them via trading and make a profit. You can participate in epic clan wars, and top clans get to control dimensional portals which allow you to become the IRS and collect taxes from any players that enter them. Leviathan also has open world PvP. Players choose between 2 different realms, the Vulpin and the Antari. Opposing realms can attack each other anywhere in the world. And don't worry, if you prefer PvE, Leviathan has plenty of that, through all of its unique dungeon mechanics. Leviathan is completely free to play, so what do you have to lose by smashing that link below in order to give this awesome MMORPG a try? Huge thanks to Leviathan for sponsoring this video. And now for some disclaimers. We all have a very limited perspective on all the characters, and that also includes you, the viewer. I do play a ton of characters, as you've all seen from my channel, and have only 4 characters that are not properly built. Those 4 characters are Lisa, Chongyun, Kaya, and Noelle. Also, my perspective is skewed towards that of whales and hyper-invested characters. That's why I have Kono here to help me. Kono has played on over 100 different of her viewers' accounts, ranging from many free-to-play accounts to whale accounts, helping her viewers 36-star Abyss 12. This tier list is a combination of Kono and I's opinions. It's a great thing to disagree because that just means that Genshin Impact is a really dynamic game with so many different possibilities. Be sure to let us know what you agree with and disagree with in the comments below. But please do keep it respectful. We will be ranking these characters on 2 separate tier lists. The first tier list is for most people, which include free-to-play up to smallish dolphins. Generally speaking, 5 stars will be at Constellation 0, some 4 stars will be considered at Constellation 6, and some 4-star characters will be considered from Constellation 0 to Constellation 2. At the end, I have a speedrunning tier list mostly for whales who enjoy smashing content as fast as possible. Again, these are our opinions, so please take everything with a grain of salt. And finally, I'm curious to see how this list and our opinions will change in future patches, so we will probably continue this tradition of updating this tier list every other patch or so. Without further ado, let's get started. We are back. Kono is with me again.
Yo! Hey everyone, I'm Kono. In case you don't know me, I was in the last tier list video. I have a free account. I also have a dolphin whale account. And over the course of playing this game, I've pretty much built every single character, and I've played every single character. I do a lot of account reviews and stuff. So yeah, I'm here to help out.
Great, and we're gonna start off this one with starting from where we left off in the old tier list. And what we're gonna start off doing is by explaining what each of the tiers mean. And then we'll move on to adjustments for the characters. And then finally, we will move on to the new characters and where we think they should be placed after we go through the adjustments. We have the Amber tier. Sadly, in the Amber tier, we have 1 character, and that is our residential outrider.
Amber. Let's be honest though, SS tier in our hearts.
I like how Amber's still the only character there, which is kind of sad.
I feel like we're being too mean to Amber, but I think it's just a running joke. Honestly, I think we should move Aloy down to the Amber tier.
You know,
move Amber to the SS tier because she's cute.
She's being bullied too much, right?
You're telling me Amber is SS tier woman.
Yes. Wait, hang on. I need a stupid justification for why Amber is SS tier. Amber has earned me tons of Primo Gems as well. Because think of all those torches that she has lit, which led to chests being opened. She's one of the highest Primo Gem generating characters in the game. And with more Primo Gems, that means more Zhonglis, more Ganyus, more Aikas.
C tier units are... You can use them, but they aren't that good. I mean, if you put enough gear on anything, it'll work out, right? This is just like, how easily can you clear it? There's nothing stopping you from building these units. Just know that you might struggle more than most other characters.
And the B tier characters are cut above the C tier characters. Generally speaking, you can build these characters and they will be effective enough. But generally speaking, most people consider them to be less effective than characters above them. So I would call these units, slightly below average in terms of their combat abilities. And that's the perfect segue into the A tier,
which are the balanced units. And basically every single unit in this tier is just like, yeah, if you throw gear on it, it'll be able to clear this easy enough where you're not gonna struggle or anything. It's balanced.
It's also why Yan Fei is there. She is the character of balance, and she's in the middle of the tier for that reason. The next tier we have is the S tier, and the S tier is full of great units. These units will carry you very far. These units are great to invest in, or they hold, some very, very good niche or provide some type of very valuable utility. Unless you have a character that directly power creeps them, these characters are very worth your investment.
And the final one are the SS tier OP units. Each of these characters do something extremely game-breaking for the most part. Whether they're a top tier enabler, or their damage is just like whack, or they offer something that no other character can top. Game-breaking.
The cream of the crop, right? The tip of the top. These characters, if you have them, you should be building them. And also, if they are on banners, you should strongly consider polling for them, especially if you're missing those specific roles. We can start with our first adjustment to this tier list, and this one was suggested by Kono. So Kono, why don't you explain your reasoning for this one?
Okay, so Lisa to the top of C tier because Raiden exists now, and one of the main issues that kept Lisa from being good is the fact that her energy costs are absolutely god-awful, because she's actually a fairly solid buffer. 68% attack and 15% defense trend. But now that Raiden is the thing, and she has more comps available to her, like Raiden and Eula both use her. So, still not good, more usable.
More usable. That's quite the improvement from the bottom of barely usable to the top of barely usable. I'm happy for Lisa, our favorite librarian. She's still top tier for exploration, especially for climbing cliffs. The next character is also suggested by Kono. It's Barbara to the top of B tier. And Kono, why don't you explain this one?
Sterling Tales. Okay, move on.
Hang on. Okay, there's a little bit more to that. She's also Hydro. Right now, Freeze is extremely good. Still good. It was good last patch in 2.1. It's still good in this patch, right? And
also, if you really wanted to, you could run Barbara Shotgun. You can do it. Don't let your dreams be memes.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. The next movement is both of us kind of agreed to this, and it was we decided to move Beidou below Keqing. And the reason for this is that obviously Beidou still has all those problems with her being absolutely terrible against single targets. And on top of that, she does not work with Raiden, who so many people were expecting her to work with, and me personally as well. I was expecting Beidou to work with Raiden.
Same. I was excited because if Beidou worked with Raiden, she should have been like mid to top us. Yeah. They're keeping Beidou down, man.
Next character is Rosaria.
Okay, so Rosaria, she role consolidates a potential crit buffer very, very well, especially if you're able to use her in double cryo, such as Eula, Ayaka, because Ayaka needs 45% crit rate, even with Blizzard Strayer. So you use her and you bring down the requirement to like 30%. And her damage is very, very high. It's competitive with Xianling's. At least in terms of like the tick.
We do need to clarify that this is Rosaria at Constellation 2, right? So if you have Constellation 0 Rosaria, yeah, she would be a bit lower. Probably where she was previously, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. The C2 leading up to 2 extra ticks makes a pretty big difference.
Next we have Diluc, and we have moved Diluc up under Yoimiya. And this is a pretty big boost to our boy Diluc, and personally in the last tier list I wanted to put him a little bit higher, but I think after arguing a bunch with Kono, it looks like I won this argument, and we have decided to move him under Yoimiya. So, Kono, anything you want to say about Mr. Diluc?
I'm only agreeing with this because he has a very special comp that, if you don't mind, put it on the screen right now.
There it is, there it is. It's a Melt Diluc. Melt Diluc is actually pretty crazy because, yeah, he can melt like pretty much everything, right?
And this is another reason why Versarius moved up, is because her role consolidation in law comps is like really, really solid. Because she's actually a fairly decent Cryora. If you pair her with like Kaza as well, it's not the greatest, but listen, in a scripted fight, it could be good. And
the next move we have decided on is very sad to me, but we have decided to move Klee below Diluc.
Okay, how about we just explain the entire thing? Because all 3 of these pyro units are just they're all roughly the same. They do different things. UI in a like overweight comp with Xingqiu Official, Diluc with Kazuha Melt, Klee with Mono Pyro. They're all basically the same unit with different niches. Oh, we forgot to mention, I guess, Diluc still good with Vape, right? It's not like that's changed. Yeah, it's not like he got worse. Yeah, it's not like Vape changed or anything. So Vape Diluc's still solid. But I do think people do not give Yoimiya enough credit, right? Because Yoimiya just very easy to use unit and like very high single target DPS, which is very valuable in a lot of situations. We're moving up to the S tier, and not too much. We decided not really to change much here. Child, really, he's still gonna sit here even though he's been re-released, and you know, in terms of child specific meta, it hasn't really changed much, and for most free-to-play and even low spenders, you're not going to get the Polar Star Bow. And honestly, even with the Polar Star Bow, even though he does do more melee damage, it's not really going to bump him up or down a tier or anything like that. In order for this child to get like substantially worse, you'd have to do something to Xiangling to make her really bad. The next character we want to talk about is Hu Tao. Now, we decided not really to move Hu Tao any which way. You know, she's still in a really good spot in my opinion. Just hyper invest into her. You can run her with literally garbage teammates and maybe a shielder, right? So if you have Zhongli, if you have perhaps the new Toma guy, those characters will help her a lot. But that's the thing, is that Hu Tao is one of the best bang for your resources, right? So every point of resin you put in her is very valuable because she doesn't need her team, right? She can kill everything on her own with just some reactions, some vapes. And on top of that, Hu Tao opens the door for nuking even for free-to-plays, which is a very valuable playstyle. I know people like to meme on it, but you know, once you do it more often, it becomes extremely practical. Hu Tao is very, very solid as a unit. She just requires a lot of mechanical skill, much like Zhao does. Like to do N1C JP, but like you low hop on like Magu Genki, for example. This is very specific, but it unfortunately is applicable because Magu Genki has been in the Abyss rotation ever since 1.6, so I hate this game. Wait, has he been in Abyss for that long? It's been, actually, I think it's been since 2.0, but yeah. And the final adjustment to the current tier list is we have decided to move Bennett up to the very top, above Zhongli even. This was my idea. And I personally don't disagree. Admittingly, players are actually getting better, and there's a reason why Zhongli is, in my opinion, not the best character in the game anymore, and that's because of super armor, as well as freeze. A lot of units, more and more, are getting super armor. So Raiden, Kokomi... Hu Tao has some super armor too, right? Hu Tao, yeah. A lot of these units have super armor now. He's still the invulnerability button, but he's not a non-flinching button anymore because other characters have non-flinching buttons now, and that was one of his major utilities. So that's perhaps the main reason why Bennett was moved up. And it's also because, you know, Bennett's just stupid, right? Like, I hate Bennett. He's just too ubiquitous right now, and even with like, you know, characters like Sarah, right? We thought, oh, maybe she can kind of replace Ben. Nope. Character that we forgot to cover in the previous video that we are going to place is Electro Traveler. So we've put Electro Traveler under Geo Traveler,
And who wants to play a freaking mini game of pick up the crystals for 20% energy regeneration?
Let me correct you. It's either her constellation or, and I say her because clearly everybody picked Lumina's or Traveler because they're not dorks. It's one of her constellations, but it brings it to immediately in front of her face, so you just have to like walk forward to collect it. So that's not a big deal. Her damage sucks.
Let's say you're fighting a fat monster like the Primogia Vishap or the Magukenki. Does it pull it past their hitbox?
I don't think it pulls it past as a host.
Yeah, so enemies can literally be sitting on top of it, and you can't even get the utility.
But that's like a very niche scenario. The reason why Electro Traveler is very, very low is even though that Electro Traveler can full battery use like a unit at 0% ER, which is admittedly nice, you're basically sacrificing all your damage for a pure battery that doesn't offer healing or anything.
Let's talk about the first new character, Sarah. Sadly for Sarah, at Constellation 0, she is nigh unusable, right? I mean, you can use her burst.
I don't like having to take a charge shot, take a little pop shot.
Yeah, you gotta take a charge shot, aim it at the ground, and then swap to the character, and it only buffs one character for 6 seconds. You can see the problem with the kit there, right? I mean, it's kind of a meme.
Poggers. Spend 2 seconds for like a half of a minute buff. Yeah, it's really good.
There's so many problems with Constellation 0 Sarah, which is very unfortunate. But at Constellation 2, her utility does skyrocket a lot because now you can buff, multiple times between her E, between her burst, and if you really wanted to, you could buff a third time with the charge shot because you actually still have the charge shot available even after you use your E. So technically, you could buff 3 times if you wanted to with Sarah off of a single rotation.
Aloy. Okay, so our residential should be under Amber, but wouldn't want to agree with me on this one. She's basically absolutely terrible. Okay, so what she does offer is she's a decent cryo nuke. She's an okay battery, but she has the same role as Chong, and Chong doesn't really add that much in terms of team DPS, but Chong has way more utility.
So Chongyun actually provides 8% attack speed and 15% cooldown, unlike a certain other cryo character.
And he does more damage, so...
and he does more damage.
Yeah.
Wait, Aloy provides 8% attack.
You can't be serious. Oh, yes, that 8%.
And with proper RNG, she can use the tenacity to provide 20% attack. With the lingering bomblets that may touch enemies, that can be 28% attack, guys. 28% attack.
Don't sell for that unit, holy shit.
Yeah, so Aloy, one of the unfortunately free 5-star characters in the game, but she belongs with the other free 5-star character in the game in terms of battle potential, right next to Traveler.
Hey, that's never Traveler to you.
It's not that necessarily that Aloy is like terrible or bad or anything. It's just that if you have Rosaria, she does more damage, provides more stuff to the team. If you have, for example, Diona, right? It's funny, Diona actually does about as much damage as Aloy does. But
why? Spoilers.
Right, and if you try to use Aloy as the main DPS, oh god, just...
Well, you don't like playing... She's a hunter. You gotta drag over the mobs over to the mines so that you can get your damage. It's a mini game. There's an actual mini game. You're talking about Electro Traveler.
You know what? Let's move on from Aloy. It hurts my head just talking about her. Let's talk about the character who's kind of released, but not really. It's Thoma, and we've decided to put Thoma for now right below Yanfei. And Thoma is basically like a budget Zhongli.
We think we know how he works, but we'll have to get back to you after we've done in-depth testing.
We'll have to, wait until he's fully released and be able to take him through Abyss to actually place him. We'll end up placing him. So we're going to move him out of the tier list, but that's our speculative placement is behind Yanfei. Anything else you want to add to Thoma?
Nothing to Thoma, but we can talk about another unit in the A tier, which is Kokomi. But before we talk about Kokomi, we're not saying that you should pull Kokomi. please remember that this is a tier list about overall power budget of the character, not whether you should pull them. Especially as a free-to-play player. So before you come at us with your pitchforks, we're not saying to pull anything under SS tier. Okay, so yeah, Kokomi is right above Sayu in the A tier, and the reason for that is because she offers role consolidation with potential attack buffs, healing, and hydro application, which again is really viable because of freeze existing. Do you have anything else you want to say to that?
She's also, you know, a very comfy driver for off-field DPS characters like Xingqiu Official, right? You have much higher damage options, obviously, with the national team, with Bennett and with Xiangling, right? But, you know, if you do want just kind of a practically invincible composition where you just mash left click, well, you can run Kokomi with sub-DPS characters. Okay, and the last character we have is the big kahuna, the Archon herself, the Raiden Shogun. So,
hi! You still there? Good, because I need your attention. Take a look right here. Adventure Rig 34. Take a look at the date. It is October 21st, and 3 weeks from now on November 7th, 1 p.m. EDT, we're going to start a very special 24-hour stream. In that 24-hour stream, we are going to be taking this AR-35 account. It is not allowed to level past AR-35. And we are going to clear Abyss by the end of the stream. And to make things more interesting, we are going to be staking a C6 Hu Tao on this. That is right. One lucky person in chat will be getting a C6 Hu Tao if I do not clear this by the end of the 24-hour stream.
Yeah, Kono, why don't you announce where we decided to place the Raiden Shogun?
Okay, so don't cancel us for this, but we decided to put her right above Ganyu, right below Kasaha. And let me explain before you guys grab your pitchforks. Okay, I know you guys have the pitchforks. You got the torches. You're ready to throw it at the tier list. Throw your monitor out. But so the reason why Raiden is so high is because her emotion value per second is actually fairly competitive with Zhao's, and while Zhao's is not like particularly high in single target, she does have a massive cleave as well as full battering your supports, and quite frankly, she's really broken in the national team, as well as being playable in Raiden Hyper. Like even at C0, you could get sub 1 minute on, say, Magu Kenki, playing a Raiden Hyper due to the fact that you don't actually have to batter your units.
Yeah, I think people, you know, were kind of expecting, I don't know, like the next coming of Ganyu in terms of her DPS, which she actually is at Constellation 2 and above. But even at Xiao levels of DPS, people forget just how much opportunity cost there is to, let's say, do 2 additional E's on Bennett to fill him up. And those 2 E's cost you like literally 8 seconds of time. Whereas Raiden just completely bypasses that necessity, and you know, Bennett's right up ready again to go as soon as Raiden's rotation is done. Yeah, she just saves so much time. She has super armor as well, so with healing, right, with a Bennett field or with any other healing field, she's just going to sit through everything and, you know, and kill everything as well, all at the same time. Oh, also, everyone got the catch, right? Or if you haven't gotten the catch. Yeah,
the catch is really good on her. One thing that we need to point out about Raiden is, while her substats are not actually particularly picky, because you can run like combinations of like ER attack, ER electro, attack. You just throw the catch on it with 4 emblem. She does require a good 4 emblem set. If you do not have that 4 emblem set, you will do significantly less damage. What is it, 25% less?
Just farm the emblem for her.
Yeah, just get the damn set.
Yeah.
Just get the darn set.
Alright, so post-editing I went to lose here, and here is the Whale or Leviathan Speedrunning Tier list. If you'd like a full explanation on this tier list, let me know in the comments below. I know I didn't explain this for the last video as well, but maybe I will explain it for this tier list sometime in the future. But as of right now, this video is already plenty long enough, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out today's sponsor, Elion. They make these types of videos possible, as well as to check out Kono's live streaming event where she may end up having a big giveaway, but I guess we'll have to see. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Win to Lose, signing out.